Check out Johnny Depps' crazy spending habits. Hello, and welcome to Famous Folks. Former business managers of Johnny Depp claim that the actor lives a lavish $2 million per month lifestyle, complete with 14 homes, 70 instruments, and a voracious taste for wine. Depp filed a $25 million lawsuit against his business managers at the management group in December 2016, alleging gross mismanagement of his affairs, and TMG countersued. Johnny Depp is one of the most well-known actors in Hollywood history. The actor first came to prominence in the 1990s, but Pirates of the Caribbean changed everything. Jack Sparrow will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the most memorable characters in history. Following the enormous success of Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny increased his pay to a massive figure. According to rumors, the superstar used to earn $20 million per picture. Forbes named him the most overpaid actor for the second year in a row in 2016. Everything was going swimmingly until his personal life turned everything upside down. Today, we will tell you all about the crazy spending habits of Johnny Depp. Before we start, go ahead and subscribe. Also, press the bell button to get the latest updates. Without any further delay, let's get started. Defamation lawsuits. After splitting from Vanessa Paradis in 2012, Depp began dating actress Amber Heard, whom he met on the set of The Rum Diary the year before in 2011. Heard filed for divorce in May 2016, stating that Depp was verbally and physically abusive, which Depp's lawyers rejected. When the divorce was finalized, Depp paid Amber Heard a $7 million settlement. Amber then promised to donate the money to charity, specifically the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and the American Civil Liberties Union. Johnny alleged in January 2021 that Amber had lied about donating the money to charity. Depp's lawyers reportedly contacted the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and the American Civil Liberties Union to determine how much money they had received from Heard. According to the Daily Mail, the ACLU declined to release the figures, but the Children's Hospital was only given $100,000, which is around $3.4 million less than her reportedly promised payment. The hospital reportedly contacted Heard to inquire whether the vow will not be kept. Johnny Depp launched a lawsuit in the United Kingdom in 2018 against News Group newspapers, the publishers of The Sun, after an April 2018 article referred to him as a wife-beater. In 2020, the lawsuit went to trial. Heard and Depp both testified for multiple days. A judge concluded in November 2020 that 12 of the 14 incidents of violence Heard claimed to have experienced were basically true. In March 21, Depp lost his appeal. Johnny filed a slander suit against Amber Heard in Virginia in 2019. In response to an op-ed Amber Heard wrote for the Washington Post in December 2018, detailing the alleged violence she suffered, he demanded a $50 million payout. Despite earlier joint statements from the pair claiming that, quote, there was never any purpose of physical or emotional harm from either partner, Heard believed that she was significantly indicating that he was to fault for different episodes of violence. Depp also claimed that he was the victim of domestic abuse as a result of Heard's actions, which included punching, kicking, thrown objects, and even excrement, according to him. Heard's attempts to get the case dismissed were rebuffed after Depp's legal team disclosed evidence of his allegations. In August 2020, Heard filed a countersuit. On April 11, 2022, the trial for this defamation case began in Fairfax County, Virginia. Financial situation. Depp's money was managed by a corporation called the Management Group for most of his career. He sued them in 2017, alleging gross mismanagement and at times plain fraud. Depp claimed, among other things, that the firm caused him to lose tens of millions of dollars, built up more than $40 million in debt without his knowledge, failed to file his property taxes on time, made unauthorized loans, and overpaid for security and other services. The management group countersued, saying that, despite receiving $650 million over the preceding 13 years, Depp's extravagant spending habits had left him with insufficient liquid cash to fulfill his basic monthly costs, which exceeded $2 million per month. They allege Depp put himself in this situation by recklessly overspending. Depp is said to spend $3.6 million a year on a 40-person full-time staff, $30,000 on wine each month, $150,000 on bodyguards, and $200,000 on private jet flights. He is also said to have spent $75 million on more than 14 houses around the world, including a 45-acre castle in France, a horse farm in Kentucky, and various Bahamas islands. He could easily sell his entire real estate portfolio for $100 million if he wanted to. He has multiple ships, more than 45 cars, memorabilia worth $12 million in 12 storage facilities, and an art collection that includes pieces by Andy Warhol. Depp is also said to have paid $5 million to have the ashes of Hunter S. Thompson shot from a 153-foot tower cannon. Depp is still one of the highest-paid performers in Hollywood. He gets $20 million up front and 20% of the back end for each film. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise alone has earned more than $300 million as a result of this contract. Back-end earnings from Alice in Wonderland totaled $55 million. Spending on alcohol. Depp has battled alcoholism and addiction for the majority of his life. He began using drugs at the age of 11 by taking his mother's nerve pills, began smoking at the age of 12, and by the age of 14 had tried every kind of drug there was. Depp admitted to past alcohol addiction during the making of What's Eating Gilbert Grape in a 1997 interview. Depp admitted in a 2008 interview that he had poisoned himself with booze for years. I examined wine and spirits completely, and they surely investigated me as well. And we found out that we got along brilliantly, but perhaps too well, Depp stated in 2013. Yes, it is well known that Johnny Depp was a long-term alcoholic. What people don't realize is how intense it is. According to reports, the Fantastic Beasts actor spent $30,000 per month on wine alone. Yes, you read that correctly. His management misled him big time after he made about $650 million over the years. Notable salaries and earnings. Johnny was paid $45,000 per episode on 21 Jump Street. His big movie paycheck started in the mid-1990s. In 1995, for example, he was paid $5 million for the film Nick of Time. In 1997, he got another $5 million for Donnie Brasco. Johnny received $10 million for his debut appearance as Jack Sparrow in 2003's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. For the second installment of Pirates, his base compensation was $20 million. His total earnings were $60 million, including $40 million in back-end points. The third Pirates film earned him a total of $55 million. Johnny got a low base wage and a lot of back-end points for Alice in Wonderland in 2010. When the film grossed $1 billion globally, this resulted in a $55 million payment. That is presently one of the top 20 highest acting salaries for a single film. Rum Diary brought him $15 million. Rango brought him $7.5 million. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory brought him $18 million. And The Tourist brought him $20 million. Johnny received $16 million in 2020 for his role in the third installment of the Fantastic Beasts trilogy. His contract stipulated that Warner Brothers had to pay him no matter what. So even though he was fired as a result of the Amber Heard lawsuit, Johnny still got his $16 million without having to do anything. That is all for today, folks. Tell us in the comments section, what is your point of view? See you soon with another amazing video.